Breathing and support. Two very important subjects for singers, and something that too often the average choral singer doesn't think a lot about. So let me just mention first, you want to have good posture as you are singing. If you're standing, you have your feet slightly apart, usually with one foot a little bit in front of the other, because that gives you better balance that way. Not very much, but just usually left foot a little bit in front of the right foot, and maybe, about 10 inches apart, that sort of thing. If you're sitting, no matter what the chair is like in your rehearsal room, try to sit with your back away from the back of the chair. Sit as straight as you can. Now, you can lean back when the conductor is talking to you, that sort of thing, but whenever you get ready to sing, try to get in your mind, the singing position is to sit up with the back not touching the back of the chair. Now, let's talk about the type of breathing that people do. There are two basic types of breathing. One is called clavicular breathing, and the other is called diaphragmatic breathing, or breathing from the diaphragm. The clavicular, clavicle, shoulders, all up around here, it's shoulder breathing. And we don't want to do that, but many people do, and that's when they take a breath, and it becomes more of a shallow breath. They breathe up here, and many times you'll see people's shoulders come up as they take a breath, but they're not really getting a good full breath, because when you breathe deeply, the lungs fill with air, that spongy tissue. They're not big sacs that fill with air, but it's spongy tissue that fills with the air. And the diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle that goes below the lungs, and it goes through the body from the front to the back. And when you inhale properly and the lungs fill with air, that diaphragm, which is sort of shaped like this, moves down and flattens out. And that's one reason that sometimes you'll see some voice teachers talk about how the belly area below the lungs should move out a little bit as you are inhaling. And it's just because of the action of the diaphragm. Some of us who have larger bellies than others, there'll be more obvious extension there than someone who is maybe naturally thin, but there'll still be some. So just try that, see if you can do that. So just breathe and see, put your hand here and see if it moves out. Mine does. But if I were to breathe incorrectly, suck in, my hand went in, my shoulders went up. So you want to get away from that. A way to experience diaphragmatic breathing is to just try a little cough. I know we're told not to cough, certainly not in front of others, and if we do, we put our hand in front of our mouth. But I don't want a big, deep cough, anything that would be hard on the vocal cords. I just want a little. So do that, put your hand right here, and just go. Hopefully you're feeling that action right there. Do it again. Now, I want you to take a book. Stop the tape for a minute if you need to, and find a book that maybe is about this size. This one happens to be The Grammar of Conducting by Max Rudolph. Max Rudolph, back in the mid-20th century, was the conductor of the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra and recognized as one of the top teachers of conducting in the United States. This was a book that was very important to me when I was going through conducting classes in college back in the 60s, and I still revere it, and I thought it would be a good one to use. But one about this thickness, what you do is just take the book, hold it against the diaphragm, and as you inhale, the book should move out, sort of the same as when I had you put your hands there. So inhale, exhale, and the book went in. But what I want you to do is I want you to inhale, the book will move out, and as you exhale, try to resist the book coming back in or pushing back in. Try, in other words, with your diaphragm, I'll say with your diaphragm, but with this area here, try to push against the book. Inhale. Now exhale on a and I'm resisting. So even though I'm pushing a little bit with the book, I'm trying not to let it really push me in there. It's just a little game to play there. Try it again. Inhale. Exhale on a hiss, but resist. Now, do it with the cough a little bit. Inhale. Cough. But you're resisting. These are all some things that you can do to help work on feeling diaphragmatic breathing. Now next, we'll work on a little musical exercise. Now on this exercise, I want you to keep the book there. I won't hold the book because I'm going to be here at the keyboard, but it goes like this. Listen, we take the breath, we inhale, the book moves out, and then we'll go ha, 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 ha. So it's sort of staccato. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then smooth. Ha, not staccato, but it's all one sort of phrase there. Ha, but still a little bit of energy in it, maybe more quasi-marcato. So with me, and then we'll go up in half steps. Inhale. Ha, 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 ha. Inhale. Ha, 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 ha. Inhale. Ha, 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 ha. Now you by yourself. All right, good for you. And now we're going to try one more thing with breathing and support for today's session. And that is singing a song and holding that phrase as long as you can. What I want you to do is sing, "My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing." 3 phrases there. Sing it with me, and you can take a breath after each phrase. And my country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Now this time, I want you to try to do all 3 of those phrases on one breath. You would take your book, make sure you're holding it there. I'll do it one time for you. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. I'll play as you do this, but I won't sing with you. See if you can do all 3 phrases on one breath. And if you can't, let's see how far you can go. And remember, I'll count 1, 2, 3. Breathing, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you got all the way, wonderful, good for you. If you didn't, let's see if you can get a little bit farther this time than you did last time. Using the book, big breath, 1, 2, 3. hope you got a little farther that time. Let's do it one more time. See if you make it a bit farther again. 1, 2, 3. Now you can do this with anything, folks. Take a phrase that you're having some trouble getting all on one breath, where you know you want to get to a certain spot, you can't do it. Just take it by itself and try to get at least one note further, thinking about the support, thinking about diaphragmatic breathing, using a book or your hands to press in there and resist the air going out too fast, and see if you can make it one note further, then one note further than that, and until you get to the point where you have done that phrase. It's just practice. I won't say practice makes perfect. I don't know if we're ever perfect in our singing, but we can sure get better than we have been. So keep working on it, and we'll do some more of this on another occasion.